So my speech will be started in 3, 2, 1. Awards is an incentive and motivation to develop the performance achieved by an individual, which usually takes the form or a financial means, namely providing incentives, allowances, bonuses, and commissions. Awards can also be interpreted as a form of reward given to someone who has certain abilities that have benefits for the company or group in the form of financial or non-financial, which aim to develop the creator's enthusiasm, motivation, commitment, or can influence other individuals to do something better. Good again, then make a positive competition between each others. Awards do not have to be in the form of money only, but can also be in the form of purse, certificates, trophies, vandals, badges, stars, honors, promotion, or for example, in the field of theaters. In the world of entertainment, such as Grammy and the BRIT Awards in the field of music, Tony Award in the theater, Oscars and BAFTA in filmmaking, and etc. However, what is the real purpose of this award? So, award is the right motivation that will create conducive conditions and influence better art productivity, attitudes, motivation, and high art enthusiasm, which are manifested in the quantity of arts products, can be understood as an individual's mentality. However, as stated by the government, it can be concluded that to achieve this award, many methods are misused, such as differentiating the two arts, not making the arts authentic in order to get attention, and actually damaging the artists themselves. It is said to be dangerous if an art or artist makes a fatal fraud. However, an artist is a talented artist who has previous experience creating fraud arts. That's why they can be called as an artist. Then, why oppose a motivation and goal to be given recognition and appreciation? So therefore, we are from the opposition team do not agree with this motion, and we have the stance that we support giving award and recognition in the arts or creative fields, which actually bring pride to a country or that community. We from the opposition team would like to encourage the government team argument, and maybe this question can represent us. So the first one is then, in the absence of awards, without awards and recognition, how do artists get prize and appreciation? Number two, will there be a prohibition for art connoisseurs in expressing their admiration for an art? Because an award is none other than coming from the audience or an arts connoisseurs themselves. Because precisely with the award, isn't that what every artist wants? Of course, each award will be given to the artist who has the best achievement, right? For this reason, all artists will try their best to win the awards. Thus, also produced a great artist competition. It's also benefit. It also has a benefit the wealth of a country because it is filled with all the talented artists. This is based on several arguments that we have. So the first argument is an art creates competition in the field of artistic art, thereby strengthening an individual's identity. So identity in the era of globalization, also not always significant for discourse, still has a relevance to the development of cultural cohesiveness in a particular culture. Art that is very thick with values and can show a certain uniqueness is actually very effective in introducing this particular cultural locality. Thus, identity, even though it is actually a means of state political power, is found to be quite effective in building character, cohesion, and at the same time, one's own cultural pride. Pride as a form of feeling of belonging to one's own culture in artistic discourse has been displayed in various activities. The rise of artistic activities in forums such as festivals, competition, and cultural fairs, all of which are financed by the local government. So it means that they are supported by a government are among other things and efforts to keep their existence alive. So what is it really for? So we all know there are things called art exhibition, for example. So what's the point? Yes, to exhibit an artist's art which will later be appreciated and recognized by its artistic value. Isn't it necessary for a society to know about the various kinds of art that a country has? So not only work like art, even other awards as stated in the motion also include a pride that can complement individual identity. They can play an important role in elevating the image of art and culture in society and motivating individuals to pursue artistic and creative careers. Also, now we move on to the second argument, that is providing art lovers with the opportunity to appreciate something that they enjoy. Rights are something that every individual must obtain or have, including the right or to appreciate an art as a connoisseur of art. Each individual can express their best words to express appreciation. Rewards doesn't have to be verbal or financial. Words can also take the form of plaques. However, how did a plaque come to be? Doesn't this exist because of a mutual agreement between the fans of the art themselves? In fact, if something is done, it must have a purpose. Likewise, the existence of art must have a goal, namely being appreciated. Precisely, precisely by connoisseurs of art or are providing recognition. This can play an important role in supporting artistic and creative development and recognizing the achievements of artists and creators in various fields, such as visual arts, music, literature, theaters, dance, film, and etc. And the last argument we have is the art can be blamed. What is to blame is the individual who intended to create an art in the wrong way. In fact, with recognition and appreciation, other artists can bring out their own sense of enthusiasm within themselves. Basically, arts are not good or bad, right? Their use is good and bad. Likewise, with an art, in this case, the government team believes that the art leads to something to be proud of, not to cover up its extensive existence. A country is great because it has many proud arts. Because of that, we think the government's team failed to prove why recognition and words can actually damage the world of entertainment. In fact, if it were possible to eliminate these two things, then this would not rule out the possibility that artists would very rarely want to create due to the loss of their motivation. We still believe that recognition and appreciation actually support their stigma to do art well. That's all. Thank you.